choosing the number of major characters for your novel. How to select the right number of major characters for your novel. When writing a novel, one of the key decisions you'll face is determining the number of major characters. These are the characters who will dominate your storyline, driving the plot forward and engaging your readers. Striking the right balance is crucial. Too few major characters can result in a thin storyline, while too many can overwhelm and confuse your audience. The decision of how many major characters to include is an important one, shaping the story's depth, pace, and overall impact. The number of major characters depends on the category you are writing in too. This post discusses balancing character numbers based on your story and its category. Finding the right number. It's not essential to determine the exact number of main characters before you begin writing, but having a general idea can provide a useful framework. The minimum number of major characters is obviously one, but most novels feature a more expansive number. The maximum, however, can vary significantly depending on the complexity, category, and scope of your story. For instance, The Godfather featured at least 10 major characters, each with a distinct role in driving the narrative. The Lord of the Rings expanded the cast even further, with dozens of major characters contributing to the epic quest. However, A Song of Ice and Fire boasted an incredibly vast number of major characters, leading to the movie adaptations having to make difficult cuts to maintain a manageable storyline. And many see that as a cause for ruining the main plot. The key is to find a balance that aligns with your story's goals. A smaller number can allow for deeper exploration of each character's motivations and relationships, while a larger one can introduce diverse perspectives and create a more intricate web of plot lines. Genre considerations. The genre of your novel can significantly influence the ideal number of major characters. Here is a breakdown of some common genres and their typical character requirements. Romance. Romantic narratives often revolve around a central pair of protagonists, the hero and heroine. This core duo and a love interest can be sufficient for a classic love triangle, but additional characters like villain, a love rival, or supportive friends can enrich the story. For instance, in Pride and Prejudice, the focus is on Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, but the supporting characters, including sisters, parents, and suitors, add depth and humor. Mystery. Mysteries typically require a detective to investigate a crime, which often involves a victim and multiple suspects. To create a compelling puzzle, you'll likely need a number of characters, including the detective, the victim's friends and family, potential suspects, and antagonist forces. Sherlock Holmes stories are a prime example, featuring Holmes, Watson, the victim, and a range of suspects with varying motives. Science fiction and fantasy. These genres often feature expansive worlds with diverse inhabitants. While the main focus might be on a small group of protagonists, a larger number of characters can help establish a believable and immersive setting. Star Wars showcases this approach with a core group of heroes, but a vast supporting cast of droids, aliens, and galactic leaders. Thriller. Thrillers often involve high-stakes situations with fast-paced action. A smaller cast can keep the focus on the protagonist's struggle against a relentless antagonist. However, introducing additional characters can create a web of intrigue and suspense. The Bourne Identity is a Classic example centering on Jason Bourne's pursuit of his identity while encountering a limited number of adversaries. Literary fiction. Literary novels often explore complex themes and character development. While a smaller number can allow for in-depth exploration of each character, a larger number can create a rich web of interconnected lives. War and Peace is a masterpiece of literary fiction, featuring a vast number of characters whose stories intertwine across generations and social classes. Remember, these are just general guidelines. The specific number of major characters will depend on your unique story, its themes, and the desired level of complexity. The key is to choose a number that aligns with your narrative goals and enhances the overall reading experience. Analyzing similar works and learning from the masters. A valuable strategy for determining the optimal number of major characters is to study successful novels within your genre. Examine how many principal characters drive the narrative in these works. Are there just two protagonists, or is there a major extensive number of characters? Consider to explore archetypes and roles that these characters fulfill. Do they primarily consist of heroes, villains, and sidekicks, or are there more different roles like mentors, love interests, and similars? By analyzing similar books, you can gain insight into the character dynamics that work well within your genre. This can help you make informed decisions about the number and types of characters you need to include in your own story. In conclusion, the optimal number of major characters in your novel is ultimately determined by the unique story you are telling. By carefully considering your genre, analyzing similar works, and contemplating the roles each character will play, you can strike the ideal balance. Remember, the goal is not simply to have a certain number of characters, but to create a cast that enhances the narrative, adds depth to the themes, and resonates with your readers. A well-crafted number of characters can elevate your story to new heights, leaving a lasting impression on those who experience it.